Meghan Markle is apparently in tears over unfair criticism of American Riviera Orchard. Do you hear it? Can you hear it? The sweet, sweet sound of Meghan Markle tears? Oh, shut up! Listen, here's my biggest question on this story we're going to talk about. Do you believe she's actually in tears, or is she in fake tears to play the victim? Can a narcissist like Meghan Markle actually cry for real? What do you think? Is this all a ploy? That's what I think. I think this is a ploy to paint herself. Oh, why are they being so mean to me? This idea that she doesn't know why people don't like her, I just have trouble accepting that. I know a lot of you don't like her. I don't like her. But I don't think she's dumb. I think she's very smart and manipulative. And she knows exactly why people don't like her. And she leans into it, I think, personally. That's my opinion. But I'm curious what you think. Is someone like Meghan actually capable of real tears? What do you think? And do you believe she's actually in real tears over this unfair criticism? Or is this all a coping mechanism to paint herself as the poor girls just can't get anything through the public without being criticized? Why do they hate me? I think it's more like that kind of tears, where you can just stop them on a dime because she's a psychopath. But again, my opinion, but let's go through what this report is saying from the Mirror. It is a source from the Mirror. Take it as you will. But she's apparently, reportedly, in tears over the unfair criticism of her lifestyle brand, American Riviera Orchard. Now, can I start right there just by pointing out how dumb of a title it really is? Like, I went to go find the Instagram for it because I'm not following it, nor would I ever. But I wanted to just see what the follower count was. But I couldn't even find it. I was like, look at America. I spelled Riviera wrong. It was like Orchard. What is this? And it didn't pop up on Instagram right away. And then beyond the stupid name, like the worst name since like the Shawshank Redemption, what's a dumber name? It's hard for me to think of something that bad. It might really be the dumbest name I've ever heard of a brand ever. Beyond that, she's only has 616,000 followers as of today, May 22nd, 2024. She launches back in March. So she's had a few months now, a little over a couple months to launch this properly. And that's what she amassed. After all the celebrities she got in to talk about the jams and tag it, after all the so-called royal, everybody loves Meghan type of thing that she thinks she has, that's the best she could get? That's embarrassing. Honestly, that's embarrassing for someone at that level who she should have easily zoomed past 1 million when she launched this, and she hasn't. And I'm curious how long it'll take to get there. Now, granted, it's a soft launch is how she's probably trying to justify it, but I don't know. Do you agree? Is that enough followers for her to launch a brand, which was all over the press, mind you? Anyway, she announced this back in March. She teased fans with vague details about it, as we know, cryptic video of her in her Montecito mansion and cooking in the kitchen, her lavish grounds in their family home. And she was going to sell, kitchen and homeware gear, as well as a line of oils, nut butters. Ugh, I do not want Prince Harry or Meghan Markle's nut butter. Never, ever, ever. The fact that they are going to sell a Meghan Markle nut butter? Oh, God. Oh, gross. But it's coming, along with jams, preserves, and home fragrances and furnishings. So I look forward to seeing what this actually is going to be. But right out the gate, the jam in itself, it was such a mistake, in my opinion. Such a mistake, because we already have a jam from the royal family, and it's the king's. The king who's suffering from cancer, your father-in-law, Meghan, the grandfather to your kids, who you've now painted as a racist falsely. You're now trying to compete with his jam when you know the UK public don't like you, and you thought that was going to be good. Honestly, she was like, well, this will be good. People will get mad. That'll get my jam some more. And we'll beat the kings. Idiot. Anyway, right out the gate, she had to know what she was doing by launching just a jam to compete with what the royals have already made. But so she put it out there. She had some celebrities. And interestingly enough, we didn't get to see 50 influencers actually sharing it. But, the fuss over this jam absolutely died down pretty quickly. No more details were given. And now she's been forced to do this whole PR spin to Nigeria and all the new outfits and the new looks to try to improve her image, both here and in the UK. Now, royal expert author Tom Quinn believes that Meghan would have been devastated following a lackluster reception, especially after the criticism she received from the new jam. The fly in the ointment is Meghan's new internet brand, American Riviera Orchard. Meghan was in tears when the brand launched, and her new jam was widely mocked for being expensive and nothing special. She has reached the point now where she thinks that anything and everything she does will be unfairly criticized. I would argue she expects everything she does to be celebrated and a hit. And that's just not how it works in the world, girl. But that's the mentality she has. And I do believe she has that mentality. Not everything needs to be a hit. Like her husband, she feels that people are unfairly picking on her. She cannot understand why people don't admire her work. Her work? Her work? I mean, this is an investment, if it's anything, and she's putting money to have people do the work for her. We know she doesn't do the work. And sure, maybe she's made a couple jams in her downtime, but whatever. That's not how it works in the actual company. This is absurd. Absurd that she's above criticism. Why can't we just admire her? We're unfairly picking on her. Girl, you stole this whole brand from Flamingo Estate. Like, that's what the industry's reporting on. And this is a paid newsletter, mind you, so it didn't go as broad as it should have. We've reported on it, and I will continue to report on it. You literally had meetings with this brand. You wanted to emulate Flamingo Estate. Flamingo Estate's a very high-end brand where you can buy like Will Ferrell's honey and all this stuff. Super expensive, limited quantity candles, honeys, oils, etc. The same kind of crap that she's going to be pumping out there. We don't respect your work. Girl, you didn't do any work. You're like, I'm famous now. I live in Montecito. I'm a royal. I should be overcharging for products to the rich because I'm so important. It'll make my brand seem more important. This isn't work. This is a brand adjustment you've created that you're selling to rich dummies. And we're supposed to just admire and gush over your work? You're a nobody. You're a nobody. You married a prince. You've done nothing of your own. You weren't even the lead in Suits, which wasn't even that big of a show until, suddenly Netflix made it a show. Now you're like, oh yeah, Suits. Oh yeah, you would never have talked about Suits if Netflix hadn't brought it back. What have you done? You're all charity. You don't do charity unless you're there getting a photo op doing the charity. You're not even charitable, in my opinion. You sign up, get people's money, and then give that money to other people who actually do the charity. And then you show up and do good. Well, you're showed up and working. Let's aside from the charitable, because this isn't charitable. Let's remember that. Aside from the charity, now you're trying to actually get a profit. And you literally stole it from them. Inspiration is a generous term since she appears to be all but trying to recreate Flamingo Escape herself after potential partnership fell through. Indeed, the trademark applications she filed mentioned candles, nut butters, diced fruit, vegetables, edible oils, yada, 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 cosmetic brushes, yoga mats, wellness items. This is what happens when you go to dinner at a Flamingo Estate and aren't invited back. She didn't get invited back. She wanted to be part of this business. She apparently tried. They were like, we don't need you. We don't want you. Bravo, Flamingo Estate. And after she had these meetings of trying to learn more about them, she stole all of it. She reviewed all the relevant company information that a potential investor would be privy to and intimate knowledge of other business. She then went and made her own. It is shameful what you did, Meghan. Shameful. And I look at Flamingo Estate, I don't care about either, but at least they were the ones who created this idea to sell high-end items, to have Will Ferrell have his honey, and then he makes 100 jars of the honey. So therefore, it's a little bit more in demand because you want to try Will Ferrell's honey. I get it. It's not a terrible idea. If somebody wants to buy Will Ferrell's honey, great. But nobody wants to buy your jam is the problem. And you're just trying to copy that and now make your own. And you're going to make a massive profit off of items that are nowhere near the cost that you're selling them for because you're trying to paint yourself as someone who's more worthy, more elegant, more fancy than the rest of us plebs. And I'm not standing for it. And neither is anybody. This is a massive failure and we're allowed to criticize you. He claims that Meghan wasn't prepared for any possible criticism she might face. I mean, I do buy that. She never wants to accept any criticism about her. But the brand's going on live later this year. She's especially sensitive about any criticism about her luxurious lifestyle. From her point of view, this is something to be admired, not criticized. So all you young ladies out there, you bag yourself a prince, and therefore you never have to work hard again. That's the Meghan Markle motto. Also, make sure you turn on every family member and friend you ever met. Make sure you have a long body of people you've destroyed, you've markled in your wake, and that'll make you even more powerful. So she's planning a big PR blitz as this launches. She's doing a whole Netflix show, etc. And she's giving interviews to specially selected journalists. Of course, I'm sure Jack Royston might get one. Maybe Omid will figure it out. Maybe all friendlies. 42-year-old is said to be desperate to improve her image, both in the US and UK, and wants to drive online sales when her brand goes live. This is why she's launching the new Netflix show. She realizes that deal's probably going to go south, but if she can manage to make that Netflix show work at all, it's going to spike sales of her products. She's clearly trying to launch it at the same time. Now, she had a podcast too, and if she really was a good worker, she'd be able to handle it all at the same time, but she can't. She's now delayed the podcast, pushed that away, so she can put all focus on Netflix, her other appearances, and then promote this brand, which again is all to make money. There's no charitable do good in this instance. This is all to make money and to make her lavish lifestyle seem even more important and paint herself as even bigger, as a royal, as Meghan. I don't even need the Markle anymore. I am Duchess Meghan. I mean, no, it's not happening. And then when we criticize, we're bullies. We're bullies. Oh, we're causing poor Meghan to cry. You know what, Meghan? I'm okay with that in this instance. You have not created something special. You have not worked hard on it. You stole another business's concept. And no, we're not going to just be silent and not criticize you over that. And yeah, I'm going to end up buying that dumb nut butter so the rest of the world doesn't have to, so I can show people how disgusting and stupid and how wasteful it is. Because I'm going to compare it to all the cheaper butters, and we're going to prove that it's nowhere near as good. But hey, maybe I'll be wrong. But I find it hard to believe that I will ever, no matter who makes it, ever believe that there's a worthy $100 jar of peanut butter or jelly. I just don't think it's possible. But we shall find out, shall we? Stay tuned. We have so much more coming. We're getting so close to 100,000 subscribers. Will you help us get there? Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for all alerts, smash that thumbs up, and leave your comments down below because engagement helps. Comments, liking. When you subscribe and you get the notification, click on it. We want to get that second plaque. We got one. Let's get the other one. Help us get there. We appreciate you guys so much. We got so much more coming. Oh, you know we're going to throw a massive party when we get there. Who's excited? We're getting there soon. Thank you guys so much for watching and stay tuned for more here on Popcorn Palace.